Have you ever met someone who made the world suddenly feel less heavy, someone whose presence didn't just brighten your day, but seemed to awaken something deep within you, as if your soul had been waiting for them all along? Most people go through life searching for connection, for love, for that sense of belonging we secretly crave, yet so often the relationships we build feel fragile, uncertain, and incomplete. But then, once in a rare while, someone enters our life and everything changes. Their arrival is not loud, but it is powerful. It feels as if the air itself shifts, and in their presence, you no longer feel like a stranger wandering this earth. You feel, perhaps for the first time, that you are finally home. This is not just romance. It is not about temporary attraction or fleeting passion. It is something far deeper, an invisible thread that ties two souls together in a way that words struggle to capture. Great thinkers have long wrestled with the idea of love, not as a mere feeling, but as a force greater than ourselves. And here lies the mystery. What if the people we meet are not random? What if certain encounters are written into the story of our lives, carrying meaning and purpose that transcend chance? When you meet a soulmate, it is not like every other connection. It doesn't feel like you are starting something new. It feels like you are remembering something ancient, something you always knew but had forgotten. There is a strange familiarity, a recognition that runs deeper than appearances or circumstances. It is the sense that your soul has brushed against theirs long before your paths crossed in this world. That recognition is powerful because it speaks to the deepest desire inside each of us, the desire to be fully known and still fully loved. We spend so much of our lives wearing masks. We hide our insecurities, our fears, our flaws, afraid that if someone saw who we really are, they would walk away. But when you meet someone who feels like your soulmate, the mask falls off effortlessly. You don't need to pretend. You don't need to perform. Their presence calls forth your truest self, and instead of fear, you feel a peace you cannot explain. That is the first miracle of soulmate connection. It strips away the weight of pretense and allows you to breathe freely, perhaps for the first time. Think about it. What do we really long for in love? Is it passion that burns for a moment and fades? Is it the comfort of companionship without depth? Or is it something more, the kind of bond that touches our soul, challenges us, and transforms us? Deep down, every human heart yearns for love that awakens us to who we truly are. And that is why soulmate encounters are life-changing. They don't just give us someone to walk beside. They give us a mirror that reflects the person we were created to be. This is why the idea of a soulmate is so powerful. It awakens hope. It reminds us that love is not an accident and connection is not random. If you've ever felt that undeniable spark, that sense of being seen in ways you cannot explain, then you know what it means to brush against something divine. And if you haven't yet, the possibility itself should stir something inside you. Because the truth is, finding your soulmate is not about luck, it is about alignment, about becoming the kind of person who can recognize and receive such love when it comes. So here's the promise. If you stay with this message until the end, you will discover 4 life-changing signs that reveal whether the person in your life is truly your soulmate. But more than that, you will gain clarity about the kind of love that every soul was created to experience, the kind of love that doesn't just make you feel alive, but calls you to rise higher, to grow stronger, and to discover the divine beauty of being fully known and fully loved. Because the truth is this: love is not meant to be ordinary. It is meant to be extraordinary. It is meant to transform. And when you encounter the person who awakens that truth inside you, you realize that you have not just found someone to share your life with you, have found the one who helps you discover why you are alive at all. That is the power of meeting your soulmate. It is rare, it is sacred, and it changes everything. And once you've experienced it, you will never again settle for anything less. There is a moment in life when you meet someone, and suddenly the storm inside you grows quiet. The restless thoughts that kept you awake at night, the weight of past mistakes, the anxiety of the future, all of it seems to pause when you are with them. You feel lighter, calmer, as though your heart has finally found a safe place to rest. This is not ordinary comfort. This is something deeper, something unexplainable. It is the peace that surpasses understanding, and it is the first sign you have encountered your soulmate. Peace is not the absence of noise in the world. It is not the absence of problems or difficulties. Real peace is the presence of stability even in chaos. It is the feeling that no matter what storms may come, you are not facing them alone. When you meet a soulmate, their presence doesn't erase your struggles, but it gives you strength to face them. Their presence is a steady anchor when life tries to pull you under. That kind of peace cannot be forced, and it cannot be faked. It is something your spirit recognizes instantly. Psychologists often say that the human mind is wired to seek safety above all else. When we feel safe, our defenses lower and our true selves emerge. With most people, we hesitate, we hold back, we question whether they will truly accept us. But with a soulmate, the walls crumble without effort. You don't analyze every word before you speak. You don't measure how much of yourself you should reveal. Instead, you find yourself being completely open, and that openness doesn't bring fear, it brings freedom. Imagine what it means to live in a world filled with distractions, noise, and uncertainty, and yet have one person whose presence feels like a refuge. That is the gift of a soulmate. They carry an energy that speaks louder than words. It is as though your heart knows something your mind cannot fully explain. You don't have to convince yourself they are right for you, you just know. You feel it in your body, in your spirit, in your soul. That peace is not just emotional comfort. It is a sign of alignment, a signal that your lives are connected on a level deeper than circumstances. But do not mistake this peace for complacency. A soulmate does not simply make life easier, they make life meaningful. The peace they bring is not the kind that makes you stagnant, but the kind that gives you courage to grow. You see, when your heart is at rest, your soul becomes free to dream. When your fears are quieted, your spirit becomes strong enough to rise. This is why the peace of a soulmate is so powerful. It is not passive, it is empowering. It is the kind of peace that strengthens your resolve to face your challenges with confidence. Think about the times in your life when anxiety controlled you, when uncertainty kept you paralyzed, when loneliness weighed heavy on your chest. Now imagine meeting someone whose very presence shifts all of that. They don't have to solve your problems. They don't have to speak the perfect words. Their existence alone brings you the calm you've been searching for. That is what makes soulmate peace so rare and so sacred. It is not shallow. It is not temporary. It is an inner knowing that no matter how dark the night becomes, you are no longer walking through it alone. The world teaches us to chase excitement, passion, and surface-level attraction. And yes, those things have their place, but they cannot sustain a relationship. Passion fades, excitement comes and goes, but peace remains. And it is this peace that carries love through the storms of life. When you meet someone who brings calm to your chaos, pay attention. That is not ordinary love. That is the whisper of eternity reminding you that you have found something worth holding on to. It is also important to recognize how rare this is. Not everyone you meet will bring peace. Many relationships will stir insecurity, doubt, or confusion, but the presence of a soulmate silences all of that. Their love doesn't leave you questioning your worth, it reminds you of it. Their connection doesn't drain you, it restores you. And once you experience that, you will understand why settling for anything less is a betrayal of your soul. The reward of this kind of love is immeasurable. It gives you the strength to face life with courage. It restores hope where there was despair. It builds a foundation that cannot be easily broken. And most of all, it reminds you that you are worthy of a love that brings peace, not chaos. This is why, when you encounter such a connection, you must protect it. You must nurture it. You must honor it with everything you have, because peace like this is not given to everyone, it is a divine gift. And yet, the beauty of a soulmate is that they do not simply comfort you and leave you unchanged. They push you, they challenge you, they awaken you to your greater potential. Because real love, true soulmate love, is not only about soothing your soul, it is about shaping it. The peace they bring creates the foundation, but it is the growth they inspire that builds the life you were always meant to live. Would you like me to continue seamlessly into the growth and challenge aspect in the next section, keeping the same length and intensity? Peace is the beginning, but it is not the destination. A true soulmate does more than quiet the storm inside you. They ignite a fire that pushes you to rise above who you were yesterday. Their love is not a shelter that keeps you small. It is a force that calls you to grow, to stretch, to become the version of yourself you were always meant to be. And this is the second great sign. A soulmate is not only your comfort, but also your challenge. Growth is never easy. It demands that we face our weaknesses, confront our fears, and break through the limits we have placed around ourselves. Alone, many people shrink from this. They avoid discomfort and settle into patterns that keep them safe but unfulfilled. Yet with a soulmate by your side, growth becomes possible because their love makes the struggle worth it. They see not only who you are now, but also who you can become. They refuse to let you stay small because they know the greatness that lies within you. Psychology tells us that people are most motivated to change when they feel both supported and challenged. Too much comfort leads to stagnation. Too much challenge without love leads to despair. But when love and challenge meet, transformation happens. That balance is the gift of a soulmate. They accept you fully, but they also refuse to let you remain trapped in mediocrity. They will celebrate your victories, but they will also call you out when you are selling yourself short. And though at times it may sting, deep down you know they are not tearing you down, they are lifting you higher. Think about it. Anyone can make you feel comfortable, but very few will dare to push you toward your destiny. Most people want harmony at all costs, but a soulmate values truth over temporary ease. They will confront the habits that hold you back. They will challenge the lies you tell yourself. They will not allow fear to govern your life, because they love you too much to let you settle. And while others may walk away when you falter, a soulmate stays, guiding you through the fire until you emerge stronger. This kind of love is refining. Just like fire purifies gold, the challenges brought by a soulmate purify your character. They awaken discipline, courage, and resilience you never knew you had. At first, it may feel uncomfortable. Growth always does. But as you rise through each challenge, you begin to realize something powerful. They are not fighting against you. They are fighting for the future version of you that you cannot yet see. And here lies the beauty. With a soulmate, Growth doesn't feel like pressure, it feels like purpose. Their presence reframes your struggles. Failures stop feeling like dead ends and begin to look like stepping stones. Obstacles stop feeling like punishment and start to feel like preparation. Their love makes you brave enough to face what you once avoided. Their belief in you becomes a mirror, showing you the strength that has been within you all along. Imagine the difference this makes in your life. Where once you might have surrendered, now you rise. Where once you might have stayed silent, now you speak truth. Where once you might have shrunk back in fear, now you step forward with courage. And all of this is not because they do the work for you, but because their presence awakens the power that was already inside you. That is the mark of a soulmate. They don't complete you. They call you to completeness. They don't carry you. They remind you that you already have wings. This growth is not only for your own sake. It strengthens the bond between you as well. Every challenge faced together becomes a thread that weaves your souls tighter. Every obstacle overcome side by side creates trust that cannot be broken. Instead of drifting apart under the weight of hardship, you rise together, stronger, more united, more aligned with the purpose that brought you into each other's lives in the first place. It is important to understand this. A soulmate will not always tell you what you want to hear. They will not always agree with you. They will not always make the path easy. But everything they do, even their challenges, come from a place of love. They see your potential clearly, even when you doubt it. And they will not stop reminding you of who you are, even in the moments when you forget. This is why their influence is so transformative. Many people fear relationships that challenge them, because challenge feels uncomfortable. But the truth is, comfort without growth becomes suffocating. Only through growth do we feel truly alive, and this is why a soulmate's challenge is a gift, not a burden. It is a reminder that you are not here to live a small, safe life. You are here to rise, to evolve, to fulfill your highest calling. The reward of this kind of love is immense. It builds resilience. It unlocks potential. It teaches you to love yourself more deeply because someone else believed in you enough to demand more. And when you look back, you will realize that every challenge they pushed you through was not a breaking point, but a building block. They weren't trying to change you into someone else. They were helping you become the fullest version of who you already are. This is why meeting a soulmate is life-changing. They give you peace, but they also give you growth. They calm your fears, but they also spark your courage. They are the rare balance of gentle comfort and fierce challenge, and it is through that balance that your life begins to expand in ways you never imagined. And when the peace they bring combines with the growth they inspire, something even deeper begins to emerge, a silent understanding, a connection that goes beyond words, a vision that unites two lives into one shared destiny. Would you like me to keep flowing into that next part with the same depth and length? There comes a point in every deep connection where words become secondary. You find yourself sitting in silence, and yet the silence is not empty, it is full, alive, and comforting. A soulmate understands you in ways that defy logic. They read your unspoken fears, they sense your hidden hopes, and they recognize emotions you haven't even voiced. It feels as though your souls are in constant dialogue, communicating in a language beyond sound. This silent understanding is not ordinary. It is a sacred sign of a bond that is far deeper than circumstance. Most relationships are built on explanation. We spend time clarifying ourselves, proving our intentions, negotiating misunderstandings. But with a soulmate, there is less need for explanation. They just get you. They see beneath the surface, beyond the roles you play for the world, and into the depths of who you truly are. This recognition makes you feel safe, but it also gives you strength. Because when someone understands you at that level, you no longer feel the need to hide. You can stand unapologetically in your truth, knowing that you are fully seen and still fully accepted. Psychologists often describe this as deep emotional attunement. It is when two people are so aligned that their nervous systems regulate each other. You laugh more easily together. You breathe more calmly together. Your body relaxes because you intuitively sense you are understood. This is why being with a soulmate feels natural, effortless, and restorative. It is not about perfection, it is about alignment. You may still disagree, you may still face tension, but even through that, there is a foundation of mutual recognition that keeps you connected. And it does not stop at understanding the present version of you. A soulmate shares your vision of the future. They do not just see where you are, they see where you are going. More importantly, their dreams and values align with yours in a way that creates momentum. Instead of pulling in opposite directions, your lives begin to flow together toward a common destiny. That shared vision is one of the most powerful signs that your connection is not just emotional but spiritual. Think about how exhausting it is when you are with someone who doesn't share your values or dreams. Every decision becomes a battle. Every plan becomes a compromise that leaves both sides unsatisfied. But with a soulmate, the opposite happens. Your passions fuel each other. Your dreams complement one another. Their victories feel like your victories, and your struggles feel like theirs. It is not about losing yourself. It is about multiplying your strength by uniting your paths. This shared vision creates a sense of purpose. You stop asking, "What do I want?" and start asking, "What do we want to build together?" That shift is powerful because human beings are wired to seek meaning. We don't just want pleasure, we want purpose. We don't just want to survive, we want to create something lasting. A soulmate awakens that desire inside you and then walks beside you as you pursue it. Together, you are no longer just two people, you are a team, a partnership, a force moving with intention through the world. The reward of such alignment is incredible. Life becomes less about struggling to be understood and more about expanding what you can create together. Conversations become more than exchanges of words. They become blueprints for building a future. Dreams stop feeling fragile because you have someone who believes in them just as fiercely as you do. And even in moments of doubt, you find strength because you know you are not alone in carrying the vision. You are walking hand in hand with someone whose soul is tied to yours. It is also important to recognize how this kind of bond reshapes the way you experience obstacles. Instead of dividing you, challenges unite you. You fight side by side, not against each other. You don't spend your energy proving your worth or defending your vision because your soulmate already believes in you. Together, you channel that energy into overcoming whatever stands in your way. This unity creates resilience that is almost unshakable. Life may bend you, but it will not break you because you are moving as one. And there is something profoundly healing in knowing that someone not only understands your past, but also chooses to walk into your future. Many people carry shame, regret, or hidden wounds that make them fear true intimacy. But when you meet a soulmate, their understanding washes over those fears. They see your scars and do not turn away. They hear your dreams and do not dismiss them. They align their journey with yours, not out of obligation, but out of genuine desire. That kind of commitment does more than comfort the heart, it heals it. When silent understanding and shared vision come together, love takes on a new dimension. It is no longer about filling loneliness or easing fear. It becomes a mission, a shared calling, a sacred partnership that stretches beyond two individuals. It feels destined, as though the universe itself conspired to bring you together for a reason larger than both of you. And that realization awakens a deep sense of gratitude, because you understand how rare, how extraordinary, how life-changing such a bond truly is. Yet even in all this beauty, there is one final sign that rises above them all. It is the highest and most transformative mark of a soulmate. It is the kind of love that reflects something far greater than both of you, the kind of love that mirrors the divine. Would you like me to move straight into writing that last section with the same length and intensity so your script is fully complete? The highest expression of love is not simply found in comfort or in growth or even in shared vision. The truest sign of a soulmate is that their love reflects something greater than either of you. It feels sacred. It carries a weight of meaning that goes beyond human affection, reaching towards something divine. When you experience this, you know instantly that what you share is not just about the two of you, it is about touching eternity. This kind of love is rare because it is not based on what the world usually celebrates. It is not measured in appearances, wealth, or convenience. It is measured in sacrifice, in forgiveness, in patience, in grace. It is a love that humbles you because it teaches you that real connection is not about what you can take, but about what you can give. A soulmate relationship mirrors the divine by reminding you that love at its core is selfless. It is about lifting the other person even when it costs you something. It is about choosing to stay when it would be easier to walk away. There is a reason this kind of love feels so different. Deep inside, every human soul longs for transcendence. We don't want to just live, we want to be part of something eternal, something that leaves a mark beyond our time on earth. When you meet a soulmate, their love awakens that longing and answers it at the same time. It feels as though you are participating in a story that began long before you were born and will continue long after you are gone. This is why it carries such weight. It is not ordinary, it is sacred. Psychologists often speak of love as a mirror. We see ourselves most clearly in how others reflect us. But when the reflection you receive from a soulmate is one of patience, grace, and forgiveness, something extraordinary happens. You begin to see yourself as worthy, as chosen, as loved beyond your flaws. That reflection heals. It transforms the way you think about yourself and the way you engage with the world. Their love becomes a channel through which you encounter a higher form of truth, that you were made for more, and that real love always calls you upward. This doesn't mean everything is perfect. In fact, the divine quality of a soulmate's love is most visible in imperfection. It shows up in the moments of conflict, in the times of weakness, in the seasons of struggle. Instead of turning those moments into walls of separation, a soulmate uses them as doors to deeper connection. They choose forgiveness over bitterness. They choose patience over frustration. They choose compassion over judgment. And every time they make that choice, the bond between you grows stronger, more sacred, more eternal. Think about the impact of this kind of love on your life. It changes the way you show up in the world. It makes you softer where you were once hardened. It makes you stronger where you were once fragile. It teaches you to give freely, because you have experienced what it means to be loved freely. And in that transformation, you find yourself not only loving your soulmate better, but loving others more deeply as well. This is the ripple effect of divine love. It expands, it multiplies, it heals far beyond the two who share it. The reward of such a connection is profound. Life becomes less about personal gain and more about shared purpose. Your bond becomes a testimony that real love exists, that it is possible, that it is worth waiting for. And in a world where so many settle for shallow connections, your love becomes a light that inspires others to believe in something greater. That is why this kind of soulmate connection feels like destiny. It doesn't just fulfill you, it transforms you, and through you, it has the power to transform the world around you. When you have experienced this, you understand that love is not just an emotion, not just a bond, but a calling. You are called to honor it, to protect it, to cherish it with everything you are, because love that mirrors the divine is the most precious gift you will ever receive in this life. It is rare, it is sacred, it is worth everything, and once you encounter it, you will know without a doubt you have met your soulmate. And yet, even in knowing, there remains a deeper truth. This kind of love is not simply given to you for your happiness. It is given so that you may grow, give, and reflect it outward. It is not the end of the journey. It is the beginning of a higher one. For when your life is touched by a love that feels eternal, you begin to live differently, love differently, and dream differently. That is the true life-changing power of a soulmate.